So in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. This is not going to be a rebuild. This is going to be more of a real life thing. Today's video, we are going to be doing my NBA 2K16 mock draft, what every team, or whoever team drafts, I'm sorry. This mock draft is without any trades, so there are no trades. Obviously, there's going to probably be some trades in the NBA draft, actually, which is going to move people around. But I set it so everyone has the current draft order. So the first round it's only the first round in this video. We're not doing any other rounds. But the first round just seems like it's way too long of a video to make. This is going to be a pretty long video already. So basically what I did, I just traded every pick to the right team in the right order. And then I have my mock draft right up on the screen for me right now. You guys can't see it, but I'm going to explain why I think every team should choose the player that they did. So let's get right into this draft. I do have user control of all of these teams. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through all of this. I'm not going to turn on any trades. Actually, there's not going to be any trades because I have... Oh, never mind. No, just because I do have every team under control. So we're on the clock. If we look at the prospects, there's some good prospects in this draft, but personally I do think with the first pick in the NBA 16 draft, not 2K16, I think the 76ers are going to take Ben Simmons out of LSU. Reason being, he's been hyped up for a while. He's going to be a good pick for him. He's obviously going to be an NBA superstar at some point, if not already in his first year in the league. So with the first pick, I do see the 76ers taking Ben Simmons without a doubt. Just going to have to go through these animations for the first couple of picks, I think. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to drop a like down below. I also want to get a conversation started down in the comment section. If you guys agree with me, if you guys disagree with me, make sure to let me know. I really hope I got the order right. If I didn't screw that up at all, I'm really aggravated if I did screw it up. Alright, so now we're on the clock with the Lakers with the next pick in the draft. I'm pretty sure these couple are obvious, but with the second pick in the NBA draft in 2016, the Los Angeles Lakers do select Brandon Ingram out of Duke. Reason being, I think he's just like Ben Simmons, just as possibly going to be another NBA superstar, if not in his first year, very soon into the future. Lakers do need a small forward. They do not currently have one that's suitable at all for them. I mean, I'm trying to think, who is their small forward? Is it like... I think they ran Kobe at the small forward this year, but I mean, he's retiring. Kobe's not a small forward; he's a shooting guard, anyways. So here we go. This gets into the interesting part. These first two picks are really just kind of everyone knows what it is. But we are now on to my Celtics with the third pick. With the third pick, this is going to be interesting. Taking a look at the team needs, if we leave the roster the same way it is, I mean, there's not much they need. But, so they're obviously all set at point guard with Isaiah Thomas and then Marcus Smart being back up. So I'm not going to take Chris Dunn for him or even Jamal Murray. Shooting guard is an interesting position though, because we do have Avery Bradley. That's really it. And then we have a couple of, I don't even know who John Holland is. He's not real. We do have James Young and RJ Hunter, two picks for the Celtics last year. May progress a little bit. Some of them were both playing in the D League a little bit this year. Small forward, we're kind of all set up with Evan Turner. He is going to be brought back, I think. I think they're going to offer him a pretty big contract. And then we do have Jay Crowder. Power forward, it's an interesting spot just because Amir Johnson is there. He does have a team option, I believe, but they do have to bring him back. If they do want to bring him back, they can also look for someone in free agency. And then the center position, obviously they do need to get a little bit of a better center, I think, with Jared Sullinger starting right now, and then Kelly Olynyk coming off the bench, and then Tyler Zeller occasionally getting a few minutes. Well, this is where I see the interesting pick because not everyone has them taking who I'm going to take with them. With the third pick in the NBA draft, the Celtics are going to select Buddy Hield out of Oklahoma. This is a pick that I feel like the Celtics need. They need a second scorer. They can score a lot of points just besides Isaiah Thomas. Buddy Hield can make an impact as soon as he gets into the league. Just ignore what he looks like. I know he doesn't really look like that. Ignore their weight and their height too, or even their college sometimes. But I do take him with the Celtics third pick just because I feel like they need a scorer. He might not start straight away because Avery Bradley. But now let's get into the rest of the draft. With the fourth pick, it is the Phoenix Suns. I really hope I didn't mess up on any of this throughout this. Okay, so the Suns are now on the clock, taking a look at their team needs if they do bring everyone back that they do not have under contract. So, point guard, they're obviously all set with Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight. Shooting guard, they are all set with Devin Booker, obviously, for the future. He might even be an all-star at some point. Small forward, I think between PJ Tucker and TJ Warren, they're all set for the future. There's two young, or not PJ Tucker, but TJ Warren's he's a young player who is going to progress a lot. TJ Warren can come off the bench for him. Power forward's a different story though. They do have John Lure and Mirza Teletovic, but I don't feel like either of those players Mirza Chletovic, being 30 years old, can really make an impact. And John Lure, I just don't see him really getting anywhere. He is 27. I don't see him really moving forward anywhere. They do have a nice young center in Alex Len. Alex Len is going to be probably on this team for a while. He really showed some good play this year. And then Tyson Chandler on that absolutely overpaid deal. They do have him. I think he played off the bench this year. I'm not positive about the Suns. But so with the 4th pick in the draft for the Suns, I do see the Suns taking Dragan Bender out of Croatia. Reason being, it can be their power forward for the future. He's been compared to Porzingis. Porzingis obviously had a beast rookie year. He was like 3rd running up in the Rookie of the Year, I believe. This is a good pick for them. They're going to take a risk on the international guy. Not many teams are looking to do that, but I feel like the Suns would do that if any of them. Now with the 5th pick, we do get into the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll go through the player needs, or the team needs for this team. Point guard is an interesting spot because Ricky Rubio is on a very large deal. I don't think they love him too much in Minnesota, and then they have Tyus Jones, who can come off the bench next year because I feel like he's going to be pretty good after his first year in the NBA. Shooting guard, they do need to sign a free agent, but Zach LaVine pretty much has it covered for now. He did transition from point guard to shooting guard. Small forward with Andrew Wiggins and Shabazz Muhammad, they are definitely fine. Power forward between Adrian Payne and Nemjon Bjelica, I don't even know who that is. They do need to sign a free agent there. And then center, they're obviously fine. Actually, I'm pretty sure Jang played power forward this year for him. That's a good spot for him. And then Karl Anthony Towns obviously probably going to be the best center in the league in 2-3 years. Then Nikola Pekovic does come off the bench for them. So, with the 5th pick in the NBA draft, I do have the Timberwolves taking Chris Dunn out of Providence. I feel like this is a good pick for them. It really just gives them a point guard that they cannot rely on for a while. Also, he is a very explosive point guard. He's going to score a lot for them. I feel like that's what also they really need a lot. And now we get into the 6th pick, with the Timberwolves, or not the Timberwolves, the Pelicans. We are on the clock. Going to team needs, point guard position. We do have Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's an interesting one. He has been shopped a little bit on the market. I do see him. He's on a rather large deal for someone who's not even as good as him. And we do have Norris Cole, who I think is absolute trash. We do have Eric Gordon at the shooting guard position. He is a free agent after this year, so they do have to re-sign him. Small forward, they are looking to upgrade, I guess, a little bit. Tyreke Evans is okay, but I think they want to upgrade him. Power forward, they're obviously all set with probably the best power forward in the NBA being Anthony Davis. And then center, they really also need to improve because they do have, Omar Asik would be starting for them right now. Unless they ran Anthony Davis at center and just ran Ryan Anderson at the power forward. So, with the 6th pick in the NBA draft, I do have the Minnesota Timberwolves the Pelicans. I do have the Pelicans taking Jamal Murray out of Kentucky. I feel like this is a good pick for him just because it gives them a very solid point guard and shooting guard, can really play both. I feel like it's a good pick for them. They do need a scorer. They do get, besides Anthony Davis, obviously, and they do get this in Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is a great point guard. Can be a shooting guard too if they do need him. 29. I don't know why I just said 29. So we're here at the 7th pick with the Denver Nuggets. It was either I had Buddy Hield either going to my Celtics or the Denver Nuggets, either of which would have been fine. But team needs for this team, point guard. We are obviously we're fine with Moutier for now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a superstar in the future. They do need a backup besides DJ Augustine, and then shooting guard. Will Barton is going to progress a little bit. Only being 25 years old, he's going to be a good shooting guard, I think, in the future. And then they obviously have a young, nice player in Gary Harris. And then at small forward, they do have Wilson Chandler and Danilo Gallinari, Gallo the God. So I feel like he is fine there. Power forward, Kenneth Faried is 26 years old, but I don't feel like he really fits with what the team needs. I feel like he's not a very dominant scorer. He's really just there for his rebounding abilities. And then obviously center we have Yusuf Nurkic and then Joffrey Laverne, Nikola Jokic. They have 3 foreign centers. That's actually, where are they from? Bosnia, France, and Serbia. Wow, not one American center. All right, but with the 7th pick in the draft, personally, I do think this is what they need. I think they need Marquise Chris out of Washington. I feel like he's either going to be a big player for them or he's just going to kind of die down, go into the rotation behind Kenneth Faried. He is out of Washington. He can play the center position, I feel like, if they really need him to, but they don't really need a center because they do have 3 pretty foreign dominant centers. We're now getting into the 8th pick with the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are an interesting team. I was going back and forth a little bit between some of their picks. who they would pick. Taking a look at team needs, point guard, if they do not bring back Ronda, they are going to have Darren Collison for a while, so that's fine. Shooting guard is an interesting position. They do have a nice young Ben McLemore who can progress in a little while. They also have Marco Bellinelli, so they might have to look for a shooting guard in free agency. But small forward, they do have Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay has been shopped a little bit by them. I don't feel like he really loves Sacramento just because he's not like the main focus. I feel like he wants to be the main focus on a team. Power forward position, they do need a lot. I mean, Quincy Acey and then not really anyone else. On center, they're obviously fine with Boogie, and then they have Willie Cauley-Stein, who's going to progress in the future because he only is 22 years old. So, with the 8th pick in the draft, I do have the Sacramento Kings taking Jaylen Brown out of Cal. I feel like this is a good pick for him. It does give them a dominant score. If they want to look to trade Rudy Gay, they're more than happy to do that, I'm sure. But Jaylen Brown out of Cal, he was either going to go 3rd to my Celtics or he's going to go 8th to not my Kings, the Kings here, just because I feel like he is going to be a dominant scorer for them. Now we get into the 9th pick with the Toronto Raptors. Let's see what I think about them. With them, I feel like they do need some more big men. Obviously, they're going to try to bring back DeMar DeRozan this year's free agency. If they can't do that, they can't do that. You can't really do anything about that. But Kyle Lowry obviously locked in at that point guard position. Then they are going to try to get DeRozan back next year. So that's why I'm really avoiding them drafting a shooting guard right here. And then small forward, they're fine with DeMar Carroll. I think they love him in Toronto. Power forward is an interesting spot, though. This is where I really was thinking about it. They do have Luis Scola and Jason Thompson and Patrick Patterson, but none of them are really at that elite level, especially because they did start Scola this year, I believe. Actually, they might have started Patterson, but Scola is 36 years old, so he's really not going to be that much. He's not going to be that good for that much longer. And then at center, they have Biyombo and Valanciunas. They do have to re-sign Biyombo. He is a free agent, I know that. So with the 9th pick in the draft, I do have the Toronto Raptors taking Domantas Sabonis out of Gonzaga. I feel like he can be a good power forward for them in the future. He's going to really be he's going to be a big scorer. He's a big boy. He can play center if it's needed, if they do lose Biyombo in free agency, and then they can just run a smaller lineup, maybe even put DeMar Carroll at the 4. But now we get into the 10th pick with the Milwaukee Bucks. This was an interesting pick. I was deciding between sending the player here or one more down to the Magic, but this is where I kind of thought maybe they do this, maybe not. Point guard, they are all set with MCW right now. They do have to... Actually, no, they don't have to resign in real life. Shooting guard, they're obviously all set with Chris Middleton. Small forward, they do have Giannis. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to go anywhere, even though he is young. He might want to look for a better team. But power forward, they do have Jabari Parker. This was an interesting pick for me. This is why I did this. And then at center, they do have Greg Monroe, who I believe he might be a free agent this year. He might not be. But with the 10th pick in the draft, I do have the Milwaukee Bucks taking, whoops, if I can find him, Skal Labissière out of Kentucky. This is a good pick for them because it does get them a big man inside. He can really dominate a lot of centers in the NBA just because he is thin. He's very thin, so he can really be very versatile. He can go up for alley-oops. Greg Monroe is a bigger man. He's like a bigger center, so he's more physical. But now we do get into the 11th pick with the Orlando Magic. I even had Skal Labissière going here to the Bucks, or I had him going to the Magic. But now we're at the 11th pick. With the Orlando Magic. I haven't screwed up the order yet, so I hope I don't do that. So now, with the Magic, team needs was interesting. We do have Elfrid Payton at the point guard position. They might re-sign Brandon Jennings after this year. They also have Shabazz Napier. Then shooting guard, they have Evan Fournier, and they have Mario Hezonja. And obviously, they have Victor Oladipo. They have no small forwards right now. They do need to look for a small forward. Power forward, they do have Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon can play small forward too. He's not unknown to do that. And they also have Ersan Ilyasova, who is really a power forward. And then center, they obviously have Vucevic. This is why I was going to say they could have drafted Skal Labissière, just because he could have been a nice backup center to Nikola Vucevic. But with the 11th pick in the NBA draft, I do have the Orlando Magic selecting Deontay Davis, if I can ever find him. Did I pass him? Yep, right here. Deontay Davis from Michigan State. I feel like he's going to be a good scorer. He's going to be... he is a power forward. So he can run the power forward position if they do want to play Aaron Gordon at the small forward position. He's not actually 7'1", so ignore that. I don't think anyways. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. But now we are on to the 12th pick with the Utah Jazz. I still have it going solid. So we're here with the Jazz, taking a look at their team needs. They have point guards... I mean, galore, really. They have a whole lot of point guards. Trey Burke, Shelvin Mack, Raul Neto, and Dante Exum. A lot of young point guards. Then shooting guard, they do have Alec Burks and Chris Johnson. I don't really know who that is. And they obviously do have Rodney Hood as well. They have Joe Ingles and Gordon Hayward at the small forward position. Trey Lyles, who was actually the 12th pick in the 2015 draft, kind of didn't really show too much progression this year. Then Trevor Booker at the power forward position, along with Derek Favors, who was a starter. Then they do have Rudy Gobert at the center position, and Tibor Pleias is kind of his backup, along with Jeff Withey. But this is actually an interesting thing, what I did with this pick. I actually drafted, with this pick. I did take Jakob Poeltl out of Utah with this pick. I feel like this is an interesting pick for the Jazz just because they do get another big man. They do need a lot of help, really big, they do need a lot of help with the big man. They do have Favors and Gobert, but who knows how they're going to do along the line. Who knows if Gobert wants to leave. He might. They obviously are all set at the small shooting guard and point guard positions. So now getting to the 13th pick with the Phoenix Suns. This was an interesting pick for me. Once again, point guard position, they're obviously all set once again with Bledsoe and Knight. Then I really went through their needs already. So I did take Dragan Bender with the 4th pick for them. And here I'm going to take another big man with this pick who can really play power forward for them if they need it. Yes, I'm going to be taking Henry Ellenson out of Marquette. This is a good pick for him just because he was actually projected to go top, I believe, 8 when I was looking at the mock drafts around, I think it was either January or December. But he did fall down a little bit, obviously, because he does play for Marquette. He's not at a huge school for college basketball. But now we are moving along to the 14th pick for the Chicago Bulls. This was an interesting pick. It is another foreign player, but I mean, he's kind of an interesting player. So they do have Derrick Rose, obviously, at point guard. He was once in the MVP of the league. Now is being possibly traded to the New York Knicks. They do have Jimmy Butler at the shooting guard position, but who knows? Maybe my Celtics will trade for him. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it might. And then at small forward, they do have Dougie McBuckets, and they have Tony Snell. Tony Snell is nice and young, going to progress a whole lot, and they have Tobbs Gibson and a very young power forward, Bobby Portis, who's going to move a lot, and they do have Nikola Mirotic. And at center, they do have Pau Gasol and Joakim Noah. Who knows if both of these players are not even, maybe one walks. I don't think either of them really like it just because they're not a championship contender. Especially Pau Gasol. We did sign with him. He was thinking he was going to win championships. Didn't really turn out to happen. But with the 14th pick in the draft, I do have the Chicago Bulls taking Ferdinand Korkmaz with the 14th pick. He's a shooting guard just in case they do lose Jimmy Butler. He can also play point guard just in case they have to have him there. He is also another scorer. That's really what the Bulls need. They need points. I don't think he's actually 6'7". He might be, but he is a shooting guard. I know that. And so now we move into the 15th pick with the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are an interesting team nonetheless. They did have the 7th pick, which they did take Marquise Chris in my mock draft. But now they're here at 15. And so they're not going to take another big man. They are going to take instead, when we look at this team, they obviously already read you all their needs. They do have Moutier at the point guard position and the shooting guard position. They do have Will Barton. But with this 15th pick, this was an interesting one. He was rumored to fall maybe a little bit even more. I do have to actually look for him, I think. He's not up here. Here he is. Denzel Valentine out of Michigan State. This was an interesting pick for me. Once again, I'm saying that a lot. He is a good shooter. He's a really good shooter, actually. He was very good at Michigan State in his, I believe, senior year. Not positive. I believe it was his senior year, though. He's very dominant. That does not look anything like him. But now we move to the 16th pick with my Celtics once again. Now, the reason that I chose who this is, I already read you the Celtics team needs. The reason, why did I hit that twice? The reason I chose who I did here is because, really, they don't have a dominant center. I feel like they're going to let Tyler Zeller walk, and then they might re-sign Jared Sullinger. They might not. But, so, with this 16th pick, he was rumored to go later to them, but I don't think he's going to go later at all. I'm going to take Thonmaker out of Australia. This is a great pick for the Celtics. He loves the Celtics. I feel like he's had multiple workouts and several interviews with the media there in Boston. But what he does do, he brings a huge presence to the Celtics where he can just be dominant. That's what the Celtics do really need. Now moving along to the 17th pick with the Grizzlies. I still have not screwed up the order of the draft, so I'm very happy with this. Taking a look at the team needs for the Grizzlies, they obviously do have to re-sign Mike Conley. That is their #1, I think, goal in the offseason, really. And then shooting guard, they do have Tony Allen and Lance Stevenson. But I mean, neither of those guys, I mean, Lance Stevenson is only 25, but Tony Allen's 34, so he's going to go on the decline pretty fast. And that small forward, they do have PJ Hairston and Matt Barnes. This is a position that they do need to target a lot in free agency. Then they have Zebo at the power forward position. Then they do have JaMychal Green and Jarrell Martin backing him up. Then at center, they do have Marcus Gasol. Obviously, he's pretty good. And they have Brandon Wright and Chris Anderson, Birdmen. So with the 17th pick, this is an interesting pick for me. I do have the Grizzlies taking Malachi Richardson out of Syracuse. So yes, Malachi Richardson with that 17th pick for the Grizzlies. He is going to be a good shooting guard in the future, I think. He's also a very good scorer out of Syracuse. I don't know why I hit pause draft. Sorry about that. Now moving along to the 18th pick for the Detroit Pistons. This was an interesting pick once again. I don't know why. Okay, I got to stop saying that. I'm sorry. This is the reason I chose who this was. It's kind of like not needed, but it's also needed at the same time. Reggie Jackson, obviously their shooting guard for the point guard for the future, and then they do have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, they have Deron Hilliard, and they do have Tobias Harris at the small forward along with Marcus Morris and Stanley Johnson, forgot about him. And then they do have one not good power forward in Anthony Tolliver. And then center, they do have Andre Drummond, but this player that I do choose with the 18th pick can play power forward a little bit too. He is labeled a center, I believe. Maybe not. One sec, I'm going to look for him. So with the 18th pick, I do have the Detroit Pistons taking Damian Jones out of Vanderbilt. This is a good pick for them because it does bring them someone who can play power forward as well as center to back up Andre Drummond, and he is also a very good scorer. He might be 7 feet, he might not be. I might have screwed that up. But so moving along to number 19 for the Nuggets. If we can get it past here, I hope I didn't screw it up yet. It does not look like I did. 19th pick for the Nuggets was something, once again, they might not need. I'm not going to go to the team needs anymore because I already did them. But with the 19th pick, the Denver Nuggets are going to select Cheick Diallo out of Kansas. This pick really just gives them some more scoring, makes them more of a dominant presence. I don't really know why I took two power forwards. It just kind of makes them seem like they could have a lot of more depth. Now I move to number 20 for the Indiana Pacers. This pick does have scoring written all over it. Their point guard position is what this pick is, but their point guard position does have George Hill and really no one else. Ty Lawson, he's probably not going to come back to them, and Joseph Young is not quite where they need him to be right now. So with pick number 20, I do have the Indiana Pacers, if I can find them, selecting Wade Baldwin out of Vanderbilt. So two Vanderbilt players going to 18 and 20. This is, I mean, they have an interesting draft class, I think. And then we move along to number 21 for the Hawks. This is what they really do need. This is why I did this. So obviously Al Horford has been rumored to walk. I mean, you can't do anything about that. If a player doesn't want to come back to you, you can't really do anything about that. But he is a center. They obviously have Mike Muscala, and then they have Thiago Splitter. They don't want Thiago Splitter starting at center. And then if Al Horford does walk, they do need another center. So with the 21st pick, I do have them taking Diamond Stone, if I can find him. Yeah, here he is, Diamond Stone, out of where is he? Out of Maryland. Sorry about that. With the 21st pick, interesting pick for him nonetheless, but I feel like it does work out for them much better if Al Horford leaves and they're stuck with Mike Muscala. So moving along to number 22 for the Hornets. Another interesting pick. This is another scorer. There's a lot of scorers in this draft, I do realize. With this pick, they are going to take Malik Beasley, if I can find him. He might be under center. Alright, I'll look under here. Here he is. Nope, he's under small forward. He's kind of a small forward shooting guard type of player. But Malik Beasley going number 22 to the Hornets. Now we move along to my Celtics one more time. This pick was kind of interesting. I was going back and forth between it, but the pick is a power forward. If you can't guess who it is, you guys will know in a second. But power forward, obviously, they do have Amir Johnson. He might not be here next year. That's the only reason I say that Amir Johnson. I mean, that we do draft a power forward this position. And with the pick, we are going to take Ben Bentil out of Providence. This pick really just gives them some more dominance and big, besides like Kelly Olynyk. And obviously, if they do get Al Horford free agency, that works great. And then Ben Bentil can maybe either be a power forward or a backup center, depending if we do bring back Amir Johnson or not. Now moving along to number 24 to the 76ers. This pick is very much needed for them. This pick does bring them a whole lot of scoring. You guys will see 24 and 26. I do take a score with them. So with the 24th pick, I do have the 76ers selecting, where is he? I just move here. I do not know why I can't find him. Here he is. Tyler Ulis out of Kentucky. Sorry, I couldn't find it for a second. Very good scorer at Kentucky. He is only 5'9", has been compared to Isaiah Thomas a little bit. He's not 6'3", ignore that, it's 5'8" or 5'9", depending if you're wearing shoes or not. But on a good day, he is a very good scorer. He does provide that spark that the 76ers do need. But now moving along to number 27 for the number 25, I'm sorry, for the Los Angeles Clippers. This is kind of like a backup option, because if we take a look at their team needs, obviously this is where they need help the most, at the small forward position, because Jeff Green may or may not come back. Paul Pierce retired in this simulation. And so with this pick, I feel like it's a safe option. They do take a small forward, and they do take, if I can find him, I'll just go over here, not center, all positions. I might have to go down a little bit if I could find him. I'm not sure why I can't find him right now. Yes, I did find them here at number 57, all the way down. DeAndre Bembry out of St. Joseph's. He has not really, I mean, he's a very good player, but he hasn't been hyped up too much just because he is out of St. Joseph's, not St. John's in New York. This is the closest they had. So that's why I did choose him at the number 25 pick. Now moving along to number 26 for the 76ers, I'm going to take another guard. This is an interesting pick just because this is a real scorer in college. He was predicted to go higher at some points. But with the 26th pick, I do have the 76ers taking Wayne Selden Jr. out of Kansas. He was predicted to go higher at some points, but he could play shooting guard or point guard depending what the 76ers do need him to do on this day. Very explosive. Obviously, he's going to be great in the NBA. I feel like he was sick. He was absolutely nasty in college. Moving along to number 27 for the Toronto Raptors. This pick was interesting just because I felt like this player would also go higher possibly. But this is more of a team need kind of thing. He is a power forward. They do have Patrick Patterson, who I did say, and they obviously did draft Domantas Sabonis with the 9th pick. That's why I am taking another power forward here. I am going to go ahead and take Bryce Johnson, if I can find him. He's actually way down, I think. Did I pass him? I might have passed him. I might have passed him. Maybe. Alright, let me just look for him. Yep, here we go. Missed him. Bryce Johnson out of North Carolina. Great scorer once again, and he's going to be great in the NBA, I feel like. Now moving along to number 27 for the Suns. I feel like they just need more scoring off the bench, so that's exactly what I'm going to do with this pick. He was projected to go way higher. He's way higher in this draft class. I should have edited it to make him lower, but with the 28th pick, I do have the Suns taking Timothy Luwawu out of France. He was projected to go much higher. He might go much higher. You can disagree with me, but I just think the foreign players for the Suns are really fitting in. Obviously, in my mock draft, they do take Dragan Bender with the 4th pick. He's explosive. I just don't think many teams are going to take the risk on just because he is out of France. And so he is national, so they have not seen as much film on him. So moving along to the final 2 picks for the Spurs and the Warriors. I'm so happy I actually got this right. Obviously, these 2 teams don't need much, but really, so I'm not going to go through what they do need. But what I am going to draft here with the 29th pick, Demetrius Jackson can come off the bench for him if Tony Parker does not retire. He can be a good scorer as well, good shooter of the free ball. That's why I do take Demetrius Jackson with number 29. And moving along to the final pick for the Golden State Warriors, who do play tonight in the NBA Finals, Game 7 against the Cavs. I'm rooting for the Cavs, not going to lie. Okay, so number 30 with the Warriors, really the only position that they do need kind of a little bit, is a center. I'm going to take him. I feel like he's better than Stephen Zimmerman. Zhao Qi out of China. Great pick for him. Absolutely huge. They do need a center besides Bogut that can really dominate. So yeah, that is my mock draft for 2016, first round only. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like down below. I want to see what you guys thought about it. Let me know how you thought I did. Also, let me know if you think there'd be anything else, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.